Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis. It looks like my internet's being a little bit wonky, so hopefully you guys can hear me. We are here to talk about Love Island UK, episode numero 9. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We love chatting with you about reality TV. So please subscribe right down over here so you could be informed when we go live. We have a lot of content coming to you from this point forward. So right after this, we'll be doing a cast reveal for Love Island US Season 3. Then tonight, we will be going live after the episode of Big Brother. It is the premiere night, so that's going to be really exciting. We'll be doing a draft pick after we see these house guests in action. So let's get to the main event here. We already have David here hanging out with us. Hi, David. Are you a fan of Love Island UK? Because that's what we're chatting about today, or right now. So we start the episode. We see Liberty and Jake having a little bit of a chat, and Liberty asks a good question, being like, what do you think about us? Where do you see us as, what stage are we at right now? I believe is what her exact wording was. And he says, good. And she's like, oh, we're at the good stage? And he's like, yeah. And she kind of says to him, like, well, I know that, like, if somebody comes in and, you know, you're interested, you'll be respectful about it. You'll be respectful. So at least she's planting the seed that if he decides to partner up with somebody else or has the interest of maybe pursuing someone else, he'll be considerate of her and be like, hey, this is what I'm planning on doing. I'm sorry, like, I'm interested in talking to so-and-so. Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining. How'd you like the episode? How did you like it? I mean, these people are bland, but I think things will get a little bit spicier after this episode, and hopefully after the next set of guys come in. I think we need some of these old guys out of here. That's my opinion. So we also see Rachel and Brad having a little bit of a chat, and this really frustrated me because in the confessional, Brad is saying, oh, you know, Rachel is showing some red flags. I think the red flags is that you were never into her and she was expecting you to be into her because she went through a lot having to choose between you and Chug, Brad. And then she chose you, and now you're not really giving her any attention. You're making out with her under the covers, it seems. But then when you talk about your relationship, you kind of say to her, like, well, I want you to get to know everybody else just so you know that you want to be with me. It's like, no, she wants to pursue something with you. She's not like you, Brad. She doesn't want to go around and try to pursue things with other people. So not happy with his I'm so dead. Why did Jake think that he would automatically have a chance with the new girls because they're blonde? I mean, we haven't even gotten there yet. Is slightly delusional because he's not an unattractive man, but I do not find him attractive at all. Like, I don't. If I was looking at him in a picture, I'd be like, yes, he's a good-looking man. But with his personality, like, he, to me, would be maybe like a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 of, like, my interest level being in him. Yeah, maybe a 1, maybe a 2, 1 or 2. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining us. I can't believe Sharon compared cosmetics things to race. I know. You watched Murad Morales for sure, because he was definitely really up in arms about that. I can't remember who wrote it, but I saw somebody's Instagram page actually really supporting Sharon. And I was like, I understood that she had a little bit of a point, but how she was vocalizing it wasn't necessarily right. But we'll get more into that soon after we say hello to everybody. Hi, Netha. Thanks for joining us again. Brad is a walking red flag. I mean, Rachel should have taken notice as a red flag the fact that someone that she thought was to be so good looking was up for elimination or up to be dumped, and unless she chose him. So that should have been a red flag in itself, that he has had the opportunity to get to know the 5 women in the house up until that point, and none of them were interested in pursuing something further with him. So that should have been a red flag right off the bat for Rachel, but Rachel did not pick up that clue. Not at all. It was funny when he said red flags, like he's not a walking red flag. Exactly, Netha, exactly. Like Brad, I'm over Brad. I'm over Liam. I'm over Hugo. I'm over them all. Get rid of all the men that are in there right now. I actually like the women, even though Faye and Sharon had a little bit of a hiccup in just how they vocalized their perspective. But I do believe that they were coming from a good place or a hurt place. So I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway with how they chose to express themselves, because it might have been a little bit uncomfortable. A little bit of leeway. So wait, what was why did I say hashtag get your facts straight? I don't know. Oh, someone must have gotten a text. Oh, yes, they did get a text. And they had to go and learn a little bit more about their partners. So it was hashtag tell me something, hashtag get your facts straight. And so they're all going around and talking about to their partners. And this is where, Brad learned some things about Rachel that was a red flag for him. It's like, what? Like, that she's interested in you and she wants to pursue you in a mature way? Like, is that the red flag? I think he's just trying to paint himself a really good reason to dump her or jump to the next person when they come and be like, well, I was just kind of starting to feel this way about you. It's like, no, you never into her, and you were lying just to stay at the villa. That's my thoughts. When Hugo was talking to Cleo, there's a little bit of foreshadowing here. He mentions that he doesn't like plastic surgery, and Cleo even says in their little conversations, like, "Oh, that will be interesting if that comes up in the game." So definitely foreshadowing happening there. Another red flag for Faye was that Liam mentioned that he didn't mind the idea of being a homewrecker, or if somebody is in a relationship or marriage, he would actively pursue somebody that was in a committed relationship. Big red flag. But it's also like, what is he, 21? What does he care? Like, he's 21. He has some woman that wants to like date him. Like, what does he care about the relationship? So Sam says they didn't immediately make comments, as Hugo said, fake. They could have discussed it privately, like Aaron said. Well, yeah, we're going to get to how that all went down shortly. So Team Hoey, so that's Chloe, and Hugo their name is Team Chloe. They're going to be hosting this little it's supposed to be fun competition. So they had to guess their partner's favorite sex position. I learned a new one. So an eagle with a broken wing apparently is Faye's. Both Rachel and Kaz said missionary for their favorite sex position, and all the men were like, ugh, boring, ugh, boring. And anybody that chooses missionary, they always choose that because they like connection. They like interacting. They like looking into their partner's eyes. And so to me, that shows the men aren't into having connections when they're having sexual relationships with their partner. Maybe not, that's a kind of a blanket statement, but if they're like, oh, that's boring, it's like, well, maybe what they're finding boring is having like romantic, connective, sexual interactions with their partner. So I was like, I have my eyes there because I'm just like, let's get out of here, you guys. Blech. So then the cosmetic procedures question came up. Who has had what? Lips, boobs, and Botox is what Faye has had. Liam got that correct. I believe it was the same for Sharon. Definitely she's had Botox, and yeah, I think it was lips, boobs, and Botox for Sharon as well. And just like to note, turn-ons, Aaron's turn-ons was nipples. I think that's what he said, or that's what they thought it was. So another one that was interesting is the age of the oldest shag. Liberty thought that 50 years old was the oldest woman that Jake has slept with, but it really was 32. So, okay, this started off, it didn't have any after effects yet, but I think it might cause some trouble maybe in the next recoupling ceremony, is which house or islander would you like to couple up with in the island outside of your partner? And every single one of the men said Chloe. So that could be a problem. Now, Chloe doesn't seem like the type of woman that would go after any of the women's men there if they were, I don't think she would ever go for Toby. I don't think she'd ever go for Jake. I do think that she has girl code all down, but I can also see if she was interested in one of them and they started pursuing her, she'd like let it happen. So I think that's going to definitely mature this knowledge, this finding as the next recoupling ceremony happens. So biggest turnoff, hairy arms is Aaron's. I'm just like, who has hairy arms? I mean, I can't ever see, I don't have any hair, but like, interesting. Hugo, this is where it kind of keeps on repeating things about fake. He was talking about fake personality, but just kind of just like fake. Yeah, I don't like fake. I don't like fake. And this seemed to be triggering to Faye and Sharon. Now, we might have missed some of the other categories that might have allowed us to understand how it got so heightened and so heated so quickly. But it did seem like some of the men understood why the women were pissed off. So it wasn't completely like out of nowhere. I feel as though they probably both been told that they're fake or been told or called fake, and it just might have been a triggering word for them. And I think this is why that they've reacted so heavily to him saying the word fake, talking about personality, but they are just taking it as a direct attack to them because they in the past must have been called fake, and it's a triggering word for them. So they were not happy at all. And then the last one was, what's your perfect type? Hugo says, leggy blonde, not fake. And so he kept on saying the word fake, and this was triggering to these women. It doesn't like plastic surgery. Like all these things keep on adding up, and it's just like they were offended. And I understand why they were offended. Liberty and Chloe got things done, and they weren't offended. They did? What has Liberty got done? I don't think Chloe has anything done. I don't think so. Yeah, I can understand them being pissed. He said it repeatedly. Exactly. And he might have even said it more times than we actually saw. And so I don't know if like someone was kept on like saying something that it seemed like it was directed at me because I've had plastic surgery and he doesn't like plastic surgery. He doesn't like fake thing. Fake. I hate fake. I hate fake. Like, I'd be like, fuck you. Get out of here. Like, don't. Yeah, I'd probably be kind of pissed if I got offended. He coupled up with both of them at some point. Exactly. And so that was also probably offensive to them, because like, oh, I was partnered with you at first, Hugo. And then, but your original first choice was Faye, Hugo, who definitely does not look as though she's completely natural. And so she was your first choice. And so the fact that you even stepped forward for Faye means that like you were willing to be with somebody that was fake, that wasn't your type. Anyways, I had a little bit of a problem with Hugo. I'm not sure if they edited it that way on purpose, but they made Hugo look bad repeatedly saying fake. Yeah, exactly. And Liberty did the lips, I think. I thought that, I can't remember. Actually, I didn't write it down. I was only looking at, I only really thought that the other two got stuff done, but I could be wrong. I didn't pay attention. I thought that Liberty was young because I think she said, "Oh, you thought I got stuff done? I'm so young. I'm only 21 or whatever she said." I thought that she said that she hadn't had anything done, and I don't think that Cleo has, because I don't think she does, but I don't know. I don't remember. Sorry. So Hugo, after this little game, goes over to the group and he stands there and Sharon is just giving him cut eye and she is not happy with him. She calls Rachel to go and sit with her because she is pissed. Now, Rachel, I think, is really great at giving advice. She speaks very eloquently and like really is able to articulate what she wants to say to these women like very well. I'm always like, yes, that's a great point, Rachel. Like, yes, I like how you phrase that. I like how you you were on their side without being like, it's like she hears them. It seems like she's had like counseling experience, because she definitely makes the people that she's speaking to feel really heard and understood. So I do like the way that she's kind of a soundboard for the other women so far in this villa with whatever they're going through. She's just seems very rational. And Sharon, though, is just kind of letting it loose, just about like how, irritated she was, and the fake. This is where she reiterates to Rachel, like, he was with me before he chose Faye, like, and to be so against fake. Why didn't you have a problem with Faye before? Definitely, like, even Faye was really pissed as well. So Aaron knows what's going on here, and he doesn't want to send poor Hugo to the lion's den. Now, I think that this is why Hugo is not necessarily connecting in the house, is because, I don't know, I would want my partner to be able to go and stand up and defend themselves in a situation like this. I wouldn't want them to be like, oh, we got to take care of poor little Hugo. And so I think the fact that he's being coddled and kind of babied a little bit, obviously he's a sensitive man. I get that. And so I appreciate the men wanting to protect him and take care of him. But I think that this is probably why he's not connecting with the women, is that he's too, I guess, as Chloe would say it, too nice. He's too nice. He's so nice. So Aaron, though, in the confessional is laughing a little bit at the predicament that poor Hugo has got himself into. Like, Hugo's probably thinking that he was being funny, being like, I hate fake personalities, and then like didn't realize that he was insulting people. But read the room, though. Their facial expressions were pretty obvious, I thought. I didn't think that they were being subtle with their irritation. Oh my God. So Faye comes over while Sharon's talking to Rachel, I believe. And she's like, I don't give a fuck if is upset, because Hugo is starting to like be bothered and like be a little bit upset by the fact that he's hurt two women in the villa. And he really didn't want to. And Sharon's like, you grafted to two girls that have a fake look. And then so Hugo's crying, Faye doesn't care, and I was just like, ooh. So the boys are comforting Hugo, and then Chloe comes over and says that he should actually talk to Faye. So Hugo did talk to Sharon a little bit, and they seem to come to a little bit of an understanding. And Sharon was speaking about the fact that, people that get work done, sometimes it's to hide an insecurity. And so with him calling out this insecurity, it really was triggering for her, and that it made her kind of look at different parts of herself that she might have wanted to change because she didn't feel secure. So I get that. She did. I don't remember exactly when she compared it to race. I do understand slightly the similarities, like not feeling comfortable in your own skin. And not feeling like you can go out in the world and present yourself. But race is something that you actually cannot change. So you were able to get your lips done to make you feel better. You can't change your skin color or your ethnicity. Really, it's pretty impossible. You could probably do some things with plastic surgery, but definitely not a person of color type issue that it wouldn't be able to be done. So I do understand also with people being irritated by the fact that she was bringing in race as a comparable to what she's experienced. But I do understand a little bit why she said that. So Aaron doesn't like people, like fiery girls. And this is the first time I saw, no, not the first time, but definitely seeing some cracks with him and Sharon now. He's like, I don't do drama. I don't do noise. What is that? And so he's kind of mad with how Sharon has handled the situation as somebody that's supposed to be in a partnership with him. Ugh. So Aaron is still mad. Poor Hugo. Before actually this happens, because that was inside the villa, but Faye and Hugo do have a conversation with Sharon, and they all come to an agreement. Faye's sitting on Hugo's lap. She's hugging him. He's kind of crying and apologizing. And I do believe that he's genuine in his apology. And I do believe that they may have overreacted a little bit because they were hurt. And so I'm happy that they were able to move past it, personally. Thank you. So yes, Hugo does ask Aaron, though, before they go to bed, to not be too hard on Shaz. So they call Sharon Shaz. And I'm happy that Hugo says that, because it seems as though he knows that Aaron is about to get the ick and maybe give her the cold shoulder. So in bed, I was very surprised overnight here. We see in the night cam that Toby has his leg over Cam while they're sleeping. So I'm like, that's a little bit closer. And Sharon was a little bit upset because she didn't get any kisses or any sort of cuddling with Aaron. So she's just noticing that something's different, something's changed. And what Aaron is saying is like how Sharon reacted was embarrassing to him, and that's why he doesn't deal with fiery girls, because like that's embarrassing. So I was like, oh boy, I want them to do well, but I think it's over. Hugo seems to be the only decent guy in there at the moment. He's a decent guy, but he's bland to me. I'm sorry, Hugo. Aaron was over Sharon since the brunch and using that as an excuse to withdraw himself. Annette, thanks for hanging out here. Like, I agree with you. I can see him looking for cracks in their potential relationship so he can get out and not feel guilty. I do think he had a problem with her wanting to have the flashy car and not necessarily wanting to start a family. And then now being fiery and, to Hugo. So somebody that's like not a big alpha male is going to come and like clap back. Like, it's a little bit ganging up on somebody that's a little bit weaker or more shy. So I agree with you, Annette. Sad though. I wanted them to work out, but Sharon didn't say. She's done some bad stuff. I agree. Aaron is just looking for an excuse, and now he has one. Yeah, they're done. They are done. So Toby says to the boys that he wants to give Kaz 100%, which is shocking. I don't know what to say about this. I don't think it's true, but I have no words. I have no words. Liam goes to chat with Faye. And Faye just wants to have banter and playful chat with like her partner, and he doesn't seem to get it. So she's like, oh, I don't want to be a negative Nancy. Like, oh, I don't want to always be like harping on you, because like if somebody's not giving you the banter back, it just looks like you're picking on them and bullying them and like just being kind of mean spirited. But if the other person's coming back with another little zinger and you're just like, oh, I can't believe, I'm going to get you back. Like, I can't believe you just said that. Oh my God, that was so good. Like, people like that playful back and forth energy. And it seems as though Liam gets like offended and be like, oh, like, sorry, did I say something wrong? Like, and she's just like, no, never mind. Like, you don't understand about banter. So at this time, Kaz and Toby are hanging out a little bit. I want to see a little bit of more of their interaction, but we didn't get to see it. But Kaz, or Toby, was it Toby? Gets a text. I think it was Kaz, gets a text. And it's time to head out for a boozy brunch for the girls. Get ready to leave the villa. Hashtag girls are loud. Hashtag brunch is my cardio. So we see this all the time in Love Island, where the girls all get together. They either go to a spa day or a brunch thing or go shopping. Like there's many times where the girls all get together and they leave the villa. So this time they're doing a little bit of a boozy brunch. The girls were cute in their confessional. This is the first time I think that they've all been in the confessional together saying, we are going to brunch. We are going to brunch. It was cute. Rachel does open up the bottle of champagne and she leads them in a little bit of a toast. It looks like a nice experience for them all. Part of Love Island, what I like is the connections that are made between all the women and all the men. So it seems like they all get along really quite well, which I like. So the boys are drinking some beers and they get a text. Hi, boys. We've heard you're alone in the villa, so we're on our way to see you soon. Love, Lucinda and Millie. So as soon as the guys hear this, they start like pumping iron, push-ups, like taking showers, getting ready. I mean, I appreciate it, getting ready to meet somebody new. But it's like, where's that energy with like the women that you have in the villa already? Like, they don't care about them at all. So Brad, though, says, which I thought was very eye roll, like obviously we knew this was coming. Brad says that he is starting to get the same feeling with Rachel as he did with Faye. He was just giving himself a couple of days. He said this because these two new women came in. And so he could always say, like, I was already getting the ick. I was already not feeling you before they even came in. I think he was just covering his bases to not look like a D-bag. And he's like, I'm trying to make it work. And that's the problem. I shouldn't be trying. And I was just like, I'm over you, Brad. Like, over you. Ugh, it's the worst. So when Brad sees these new women, he stopped still in his tracks and he's like, oh my gosh. And I thought that the type of oh my gosh that he said, I thought he knew the girl. I thought he like dated her before. She was like a celebrity or something that he's known before. But I think he was actually just taken aback by her beauty. And yes, they were both beautiful, but I think he was just like, oh my God. And, you know, he was saying like, for Rachel, no, he wasn't. He was saying this for this girl. He was like, whoa, oh my God, like so hot. So he definitely showed that he was interested in, it looks like it's Lucinda, but I'm not sure. At this point, don't know for sure who. So yeah, but he does say he likes Lucinda, and I think that they're both drop dead gorgeous. But Lucinda is one of those, she looks like, to me, like Gigi Hadid. Gigi or Bella? I don't remember which is which, but which sister is which sister. Brad needs to go. I hope neither of the girls pick him. Well, what do we think is going to happen? So, okay, so before we get to just deciding what we think is going to go down, so Rachel, obviously, with the girls talking about like, oh, she's so glad that she chose Brad. And I was like, oh God. So Brad's already just like, his mouth is dropped open for Lucinda. And Rachel's just like so happy that she's in a coupling with Brad. Like, read the room, Rachel. Kaz has never taken this slow before in a relationship and she kind of likes it. I'm like, Kaz, get off of the Toby train. Like, please, somebody come in for Kaz so she can not be with this young boy that's not into her. Please. Like, she's just giving him too much. Way too much. So they decided to send the boys a selfie. Oh, Chloe does mention that Hugo is too nice, just too nice, so nice. They send the boys a selfie. The boys send a selfie back, and the girls are screaming because there's two beautiful women in the villa. And Rachel sees that Brad looks really happy, and I think that he has maybe his arm around her waist or something like that. And so Rachel is getting a little bit nervous, as she should. So let's speculate. Apparently Lucinda looks like a girl, Amber, from Love Island's friend that Brad liked on the outside. So he is defo going there. Okay, so maybe that's why, because when he saw her, I totally was like, he recognized her. Like, that's what I felt. So I'm wondering if he knew who she was or it was just her beauty. So, okay, that's a good point. I'll look into that and see if I can find out. We're talking about Amber from season 5? I think, or Amber from season 4. Probably Amber for season 4. Millie will like Aaron, it seems, in the intro, more black men, since her type is that Anthony Boxer guy. Who's Anthony Boxer guy? Well, I mean, I like that. I'm sorry, Sharon, that you don't have Aaron on lockdown, but I'm just, because even Aaron is a very attractive man, and he probably in most seasons would have trouble coupling up with somebody just because they're not into black men. So I'm happy that one of these blonde women are at least into a black man. Amber, who won? Okay. Anthony Joshua, who's that? Oh, is it somebody I should know? Like it's somebody famous that I just don't know? Let me look him up. Anthony Joshua. Did she date him or did she just like him? Oh, he's cute. Should we pull up a picture? Hold on. I'll pull it up so you guys can see what he looks like. So this is him. Definitely a good-looking man. He's a boxer, so he's pretty badass. Okay, so if that's her type, all right. Definitely. Well, Aaron might be too soft for her. He's a black British boxer. Oh, and he's going to have an accent too? Hot. Hot, hot, hot. Yes. So, I mean, I think his head will be turned then immediately. So then Lucinda, she's probably going to go for Brad because people think that Brad's a catch before they get to know him. So I think that, yeah, I think that that Rachel and who's the other person? Sharon are going to be in big trouble. And what if somebody does a little bit of shuffle and they decide they want to go with Chloe? Would that happen? Do you think Liam would leave Faye and try to go with Chloe instead? And then Hugo and Faye back together? I don't know. Well, I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen tonight. Hopefully they conclude something. Like they're really dragging it on, and I just want it to get into the good part. Like I want to like all the couples. I want them to be in relationships. I want there to be people tempting them, but real couples that are together. Right now, nobody likes each other, so it doesn't really matter. 2 new people come in, except for Liberty. We know that Liberty likes Jake more than Jake's likes her, and same with Rachel. So that's the only kind of drama that's really going on. But everybody else is like fine with their partners going to somebody else because they're not that interested. Oh, maybe Sharon a bit is like, will be hurt. But anyways, it is picking up. It's a little bit of a slower start than usual. I think the casting is not as strong for the beginning as it usually is. And so maybe this is why it's a kind of harder for us to get into the pace and the rhythm of Love Island. Obviously, still loving it and enjoying it. I want Brad to be gone because I want to be able to understand all the conversations that are happening. And I literally, the conversation that he had with Jake, I rewound it so many times. I'm like, what is he saying about Rachel here? What? Anyway, so I just want to be able to understand everybody. And he's the only person I do not really understand all the time. The new girls pick 3 guys to make them dinner. Okay, so who's the third guy going to be? Probably Jake because he loves his blondies. So it'll be Jake, Aaron, and probably Brad, right? Right. Well, thanks guys for hanging out with me. Netha, Annette, Sam. Is that everybody today? David, if you're still here. Totally appreciate the little quick chat. In about a half an hour's time, I'll be going live to do a little walkthrough of the cast with Tamika of Love Island Season 3 for the US. So if you want to pop back by in about half an hour, we will be doing that. And then live tonight at 9:45 Eastern, we will be talking Big Brother US Season 23. So thank you for hanging out with me, us, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you later. Ciao.